Welcome to What's Going On, the weekly podcast and videocast of First United Methodist Church in Yankton, South Dakota. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of What's Going On. I'm Pastor Katie here at First United Methodist, and I'm glad you could join me for this episode. We are going to do a truly what's going on type episode today because we have a lot that is happening in the next month or so in the life of the church, and I want you to be aware of it. So this is really going to be like calendar of events type episode with commentary about each of these events along with it. So I hope it's still interesting, but I really want you to be aware of these things and to get them on your calendar and to be a part of them because, well, if I'm being totally honest and selfish, I want to see you at these things. These are going to be the final things I get to do here as serving this church. And so the more that I get to do it with you, the better. That's what I think. So we're going to begin with this Sunday, the 19th. It is after worship. It will be Take Me to Your Leader potluck. Every time I say that name, it just makes me smile. But this is the beginning of the leadership team. One of the things they discerned to do this year was to implement a quarterly potluck. This happened after conversation. We did a potluck in January in honor of Craig Sherman's retirement, and people just kind of remembered how much they enjoy potlucks and enjoy gathering together. And so the leadership team thought it would be a good idea to at least once a quarter do a potluck and then have that also be the time where they get to share kind of things that they are looking at and doing, as well as opportunities for the congregation to be able to ask questions. So we're combining potluck with our kind of town hall meetings that we had done previously. And so that is this Sunday after worship. This Sunday is also going to be Volunteer Appreciation Sunday. And so we just want to be able to acknowledge and recognize that the church runs on volunteers. We do have staff, but the staff positions are really to coordinate the people of the church. And so I think in other organizations, they have like, here's our handful of volunteers and the things that they do. But for us, it really is you, it's the church, and all the different ways that all of you give back and participate and give of yourselves. And we are so grateful. So we'll have a little time in worship to recognize that, and then a small token of our gratitude for, again, everyone and the ways in which they volunteer. This coming Tuesday will be the final session of our To Be Made Well class that we've been working on. And so the next Tuesday, what is my calendar look like? This is the one I didn't have. So the 28th, we're going to be starting the final class for the Tuesday lunch studies that I've been doing. And we're going to be doing Parables by Josh Scott. Josh Scott is someone a little bit newer to the scene, but I've been really enjoying his work. And so I'm excited to do this one as well. I've been kind of saving it, but he is the one that we did Bible studies for grown-ups and context were by him as well. So I've really enjoyed what he brings. And so I thought that would be a nice one to end with. So we're going to be looking at parables. That class starts on April 28th as we wrap up on the 21st. Our To Be Made Well series, which has been really fun because it's a series that was produced in the Dakotas Conference. And so all the videos are of people that we recognize, that we know. And this last one had Reverend Ron Olson, and it was really fun because he serves Parker Hurley, and one of the people that's their hometown. And so they were really excited. And someone else says, I know him from Walk to Emmaus, and shared their own stories. And so there's just something been kind of special about that. And so I hope that the conference continues to do that and offer those and make those, because there is something special about getting to learn from people that we know. So Saturday, April 25th will be the funeral for Reverend Russell Pierce. There is visitation the night before, Friday, from 5 to 7 at Winston Ray Funeral Home, with 7 p.m. being a prayer service. The funeral will be here at the church on Saturday, April 25th at 10:30 with a luncheon to follow. The committal service will be at a later date as he will be interned in Draper. This one is special. I think every funeral and celebration of life is special, but if you come to this one, if you've never been to a celebration of life or funeral for a retired Methodist clergy, there are a couple things that happen that don't typically happen at other funerals. And one is that our superintendent will be here, will be joining us for that funeral to present the family with um, a grave marker. So United Methodist clergy, when they pass away, kind of like in some other organizations that you might be a part of, there's certain things that you get as signifying that you were this thing. And for us, there's a grave marker that is a circuit rider. And that harkens back to the days where the Methodists had circuit riders. And so he will be here to present that to the family. And then the second thing that is kind of special is a clergy choir. And so the call has been put out for area clergy to come and sing and honor Russell in that way. And so I'm looking forward to that. Um, I'm looking forward to celebrating the life of such a wonderfully faithful man. And um, I think it'll be a really, really beautiful service and day. Sunday, April 26th, after worship that day, we will be heading out to West City Limit Road to do the blessing on our garden plots to kind of kick off that season for the church. We do 3 plots with Yankton Healthy Gardens, and I talked before about what we do with all that produce, but it supports a couple of our other ministries, including our Care Casseroles ministry. They make salsa from that, which supports the Angel Fund at the Yankton School District, as well as just providing fresh produce for people in the church and in the community. Some of that produce has ended up at the contact center, as well as Pathways and some other places. So please consider coming and being a part of a short service of blessing for that, and then consider maybe being part of that ministry by helping to tend the garden and weeding and watering and things like that. Wednesday, April 29th is going to be the Bob Capel Memorial Litter Pickup. So that's going to be from 6:30 to 8:30. They moved it a little bit later, partially because because we'll have light later in the day. But the green team had heard feedback that there's some people from 605 that would like to be a part of that. That's always been a conflict. And so at least for this spring one, they're going to move it back. So at the end of 605, the adults who would like to come and be a part of that are able to do that. We'd love to have more of the church involved in this. We've really relied on our youth group to be kind of the main workforce for this, but this is really meant to be a church-wide thing. And so if you are able to walk ditches, which I know for some of you, that's just not a safe option, and we don't want you to do that. But for many of you, I think it's a really great opportunity. It's one of those times where you really get the instant satisfaction of seeing the good that you're doing. Um, I've really enjoyed the times that I've gotten to go and do this, and we always have our confirmation students do it as well. And so that's been something I've been able to be a part of. But that will be Wednesday, April 29th from 6:30 to 8:30. Everyone is welcome, but you need to be 12 years or older, and then you need to sign a waiver. That is from the Department of Transportation, so that we're just all covered for insurance, legal things. So we hope that you just show up to the church and we meet together and kind of make a plan from there. The end of April will be the deadline for signing up for camp and receiving their promotion. Instead of doing an early bird pricing this year, what they are doing instead, which I think is kind of cool, is you get like a certain amount of money for the camp store. So when you get to camp, just by signing up early, you can basically get your snacks paid for. You would still maybe if you want to buy a t-shirt or a stuffy or something, you would need to bring your own money, but just to pay for ice cream sandwiches, which I don't know what anyone else buys at the store. That's what I buy, are the cookie ice cream sandwiches. They're so good. But the deadline to receive that promotion is at the end of April. So if you haven't signed up for church camp, please do so soon so that you can get that promotion. May 3rd will be Confirmation Sunday. We have 3 students who will be confirmed that day. And so we're very excited to. This has been such a special class. It's a smallest class I've had here. But in it being smaller, it's been really great. The kids have gone really deep this year. We were joking yesterday that the confirmation mentors almost, I think, were like honorary confirmands because they were getting so into it this year as well. But I'm really looking forward to that. So that'll be May 3rd, and then the fellowship that day will be in honor of them. And so I hope that you come. One of the things that we did in confirmation and that you are invited to do as well, if you would like, is we made affirmation bags for the students and wrote little notes of encouragement. If you would like to write notes to our students and put them in, they'll be receiving those bags that day. You can add to those bags if you would like. Our 3 confirmation students are Gabe Slowey, that would be Dan and Laura Slowey's youngest son. Trevor Gaziski, Scott and Mindy Gaziski's son, and Alexandra Stowe, the daughter of Sharon Stowe. And so, again, they have been such a blessing, and I hope that you would join me in affirming them and encouraging them for the life of faith ahead. And then the last thing I want to really, well, calendar of events wise talk about is Vacation Bible School. You might have seen a slide up that sign up is out for that. Vacation Bible School again is going to be done jointly with United Church of Christ and Trinity Lutheran Church. And it's going to be at the end of May, May 28th through May 30th. We're going to run the same sort of schedule where we have Thursday and Friday evening and Saturday morning. And then we will worship in the park Sunday, May 31st. VBS, the actual Vacation Bible School, is going to be here at our church, but we're still going to choose to worship in the park together on that 31st, and we'll worship at Memorial Park. But we're going to do VBS here at the church. At our church. And so that's a little different than the last couple of years where we've done everything out at the park. This year, they've just chosen to move it here. But you can get signed up. If you have any questions about VBS, we are going to be looking for some volunteers to be helping with that. We do have a meal to serve for one of those days. And so if that's something that you're able to help with, please let us know. But if you have any questions, Brooklyn is the one that I want to direct you to. She knows a lot more about it than I do. If you're interested in helping me with worship in the park, I would love to have you help. I'm definitely looking for some input that way. But I'm really excited that I get to be a part of that for one more year. Vacation Bible School. I'll be honest, when I was younger, when I was doing youth ministry, Vacation Bible School, VBS, was a week that I would often work from home because it was so overwhelming to me. I didn't know at that time in my life how to be with kids and all of their noise and energy. I mean, which just sounds crazy I was a youth pastor, but by the time they get to high school, they settle down a lot. And so I was very uncomfortable with it, and I didn't know what to do with it. But once I started having my own children, obviously I had a lot more investment, more experience in dealing with kids because I had kids of my own, and it's become one of my favorite things. One of my absolute favorite things is, especially if I am at one of the schools here in town to pick up one of my kids, and I have other kids that know me from Vacation Bible Schools. Oh, Pastor Katie. I think that's really cool that because I've gotten to be a part of that, it's it's gotten to expand, the people I've gotten to know, and I've gotten to experience some other really incredible and cool kids in the process, as well as the opportunity to work again with other churches ecumenically. I think that's really important. That's something I've been really proud of in my time here in Yankton is the relationships that we built, especially with Trinity Lutheran and Yankton UCC, not only in our missions, we share Loads of Love laundry mission, but also Vacation Bible School, Trunk or Treat, And then we also have shared in some of our special services, including Blue Christmas. And so I'm really grateful for those partnerships because I think it's really important for us to remember that um, these other churches, we have so much in common, and that we are working toward the same goals. And these are people who are kindred spirits who we there's things that we can share together and be better because we share them together. That we are all united in the body of Christ, and so I'm really grateful for those partnerships, and they've been a blessing to me and a blessing to this ministry. And it's something that I have valued in my time. And so I'm grateful that we are doing that once again. And then, oh man, after that, June comes. June comes, and beginning of June, I'll be heading to Bismarck for annual conference along with our delegates. Our delegates are Carla Hummel, Craig Sherman, and Bob Thuy. And I'm bringing my son Ben with me this year. I don't think he is at all prepared for the drive to Bismarck. Um, but that will be the first weekend in June. And then my final Sunday with you all will be the second weekend in June, June 14th. And I believe that leadership team is planning to do another potluck that day as a farewell. Uh, the next two Sundays will be covered by some special people that I've got arranged, and so I hope that you use that time to help transition your hearts, right? And prepare for Pastor Valerie to come. That was the big announcement that happened this Sunday, is that we announced the new pastor, Pastor Valerie Hummel LaBounty. And I cannot express to you not only where my heart felt relief and excitement, but also just the response that I have seen from the church. This is a sort of a different, a unique appointment in that it is not common, although not unheard of, for pastors to be called to their home churches. And this is what is happening. Pastor Valerie is someone who grew up in Yankton, who graduated from Yankton, who was confirmed in this church. This is where she felt her call into ministry. This is the church that nurtured her, and now she gets to come and lead it. And that is just an incredibly beautiful thing, I think. And again, it can be a challenging thing sometimes, but the more that I have witnessed the way that the people of this church are excited for her to come, it very much feels like this is a God ordained move. And so I just couldn't be more thrilled to hand off um, the reins of this church to her. I know her to be such an incredibly gifted pastor and leader and thoughtful human being, as well as one of the best pastor mothers that I know. She also has three children, small kids, and um, one of the blessings that I think that she will receive being here is a church that is so good and so understanding and so caring to, at least that's been my experience as a mother and a pastor, is that when I've had needs with my kids, that this church has always been very understanding and very loved my kids in the way that I hope that they would. And I know that you will do the same for her and her family. Um, I know her family and her girls are incredibly easy to love. Every time I've gotten to be around them for conference things, Jason and I just adore them, and so we're a little bit jealous that you get to have all that time with them, and also to recognize that Pastor Valerie, her husband, is Reverend Seth LaBounty, and he will be moving as well. He will be serving in Vermilion. So they'll be living here in Yankton in the parsonage, but his appointment will be to Vermilion and getting to really, I think, build up that church, and especially around the campus ministry at USD. And I think that is a wonderful fit and appointment for him as well. And I'm excited about what he's going to be doing there. But to recognize that um, while they are both pastors, Pastor Valerie is your gift and Pastor Seth is their gift. And so I know that this is the right thing, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful just to know, honestly. It feels good to know after having had to wait so long for that news. But some things are worth the wait, right? Um, and this certainly has been. And one of the biggest comments that I heard in the last week is just as many of you know, and if you listen to the podcast, Pastor Valerie's grandmother was Carol Becker, who I talked about a few episodes ago, who passed away about a month ago, and just how proud her grandma would be of her taking on this appointment. And there's just something beautiful in the timing of all of this, that we may have lost Carol's presence with us, but we are gaining Pastor Valerie. And I think all the good that Carol had, she passed on to her family. So yeah, I really I'm smiling so much because it's just such a gift as a pastor as well to feel so good and confident in who is coming, and knowing that the skills and the presence of who they are exactly the thing that the church needs, and to know that I can leave well and leave it in good hands, and trust that God is going to bless Pastor Valerie's ministry here, and she's going to be able to take you to the next chapter of this church and to really flourish. And so that just makes my heart so happy. So happy. It is a gift. I mean, really, truly. Just know that I am praying for all of you, and for Pastor Seth and Pastor Valerie, as they also are in this boat of transition like I am. But it is truly a good thing and a God thing. That's my God moment for the week, I think, for the month, for the year. God is good. So they will be, her official start date, as with all of us, is July 1st. And so they will be here prior to that. And the leadership team, that would be some great questions to ask at the potluck on Sunday about what are some things that the church can be doing, and what are things that they are doing to help prepare and plan for their arrival. I know that there's a lot that is a lot of conversation has been around the parsonage and getting that ready to go. There's going to be some big projects there happening in the interim between when we leave and when they arrive. But there's also things that the church can be doing to help welcome their family into Yankton once again, and to prepare them well and to get started on the right foot. And so I hope that you are asking those questions of yourself, but also of the leadership team, that you're all working together so that when she gets here, you guys can take off running. Like I said, there's a lot happening in the life of the church. I hope that you got all of those things on your calendar. And until next time, I hope to see you in worship. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful weather. And that's all I've got for you today. Until next time, God bless. Thank you for joining us for this episode of What's Going On, a video and audio podcast of First United Methodist Church in Yankton, South Dakota. We'd love to have you join us for worship on Sundays at 10 a.m., either in person or via our live stream, which can be found at our website, www.firstumcyankton.org, or by searching First UMC Yankton on YouTube.